It's time. You know them. In WWE, they were Edge and Christian. And in AEW, it's Cope and Christian Cage. Adam Copeland and Christian. And now, as entrepreneurs, it's Adam Copeland and Jay Reso. And they're both here. And this is so cool because they have a really cool product. I'm going to show you it now. It's called Pure Plank. And it's really about health and fitness. And I tried it last night. I got it. It's really easy to use, easy to clean, easy to store, easy to carry. Got a little carry here and all. And I'll show you some of the parts with it later that comes with it, which are very simple. But these guys, I know, hey guys, we have DDP yoga, but is this going to be the next big thing, Adam?
Well, so far so good. You know, when Jay and I first started kind of talking about this, it was kind of right before the pandemic, and I had come down, and Jay said, "Man, your abs are starting to come back. What's going on?" I was like, "Well, I'm just planking," and that became the impetus for the whole thing. And then Jay had the thought. I was wondering if there's anything on the market, and then we looked, and there were a couple of products, but they weren't real conducive to safety, let's just say. So then we just started batting around ideas and got a Sharpie and a piece of paper out, and we drew up the Pure Plank. And now here we are two years later.
Yeah, Jay, this is interesting too, because first of all, talk a little bit about product and how this is a product for all ages, really. I mean, I saw some videos of it with some of the younger people on there doing it. I'm older than probably everybody here, so I tried it a little bit last night. I started to do it. It felt really good. It was going and all, but what are your thoughts about this and about everyone that could use it, beginners to advanced?
Yeah, the goal was to make something that was a very, a useful piece of equipment that a person at any stage of their fitness journey could get on and use. A piece that's not intimidating in the least, but it's effective. And like I said, any level of fitness can use it and can get great gains from it. And that was the goal, was to put it out there and have people like yourself use it that want to be in as good a shape as I am.
I don't know if I'm ever going to get to that level. To be honest, I mean, Jay, because Adam and Jay, both of you, been doing this just incredible, and even at this stage of the game, incredible in-ring competitors. Your health and fitness is there. I know Adam with the neck injury and all, with the holy mackerel, coming back from that. Just Adam, when you're looking at health and fitness, even during that time, when you're not even back in pro wrestling, just what was it like for you doing different things and getting yourself in shape, and then, hey, maybe have another shot at this?
Well, the shot at this was never in the cards, I was told. So I really just had to put that on the back burner and realize that was just a pipe dream. But any time that I've kind of let myself go or a little bit, or haven't been training as hard or dieting as hard as I usually do, I usually start off with planks. For me, it's kind of the gateway exercise, because everything's engaged. So, from your toes to your nose, everything has to work on a plank, and it looks remedial. It looks easy. And in theory it is, but you get to 20, 30 seconds. And if you haven't been planking, you're going to start to shake. You really are. And that's okay. That's why when Jay says it's something that everybody can get into, whatever level of their fitness they're at, because you could have, an extremely fit person, they'll still get something out of this. I found with planking, it's really the consistency. And the thing about planking is, okay, you throw the board down, you hop on, even if it's a minute, or 30 seconds a day, and let it gradually build until now you're doing 5-minute rounds with different angles hit. And but that was what we wanted. We wanted something that a mom recovering from a C-section could use, that a guy working at a factory standing on concrete all day, has got a bad back, he could use. And it's nothing, like Jay said, too intimidating or demoralizing. It's like, right, okay, I'll get down there and I can do that. Most importantly, though, we wanted to make it easier on the other joints. Between Jay and I, we probably got 52 chips in our elbows. So we had to find something between our shoulders, our wrists, and elbows that took some of the impact off, and that was really the main goal. And then the stability that the handles give you was really key to make sure that your form's right.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like we've had people, say to us, what do I need a board for? Can I just put a mat on the ground? And I suppose you could, but like I said, the handles, like Adam just kind of alluded to, they put you in position right away, the proper position. And also, you look at that board and you bought it and it's going to help you. The hardest part is getting started. Once you get started and you see some change, it makes you want to keep going. And that's the important thing. It's like Adam said, consistency, staying consistent with it. But we also found that with the handles, the harder you grip the handles, the more it intensifies the effectiveness of the plank. And it's not just a regular plank either. There's many different variations of a plank. You can see that on the app. We have a lot of different exercises and workout routines on the app that the people can follow and use. But yeah, like I said, it holds you accountable too. You look down, you see that, and it makes you want to. I always like to do it at the end of my workout. But everybody's different.
See how that's the thing, Jay. I'll ask you first, and then Adam. How many times a week are you guys using this product? Basically,
I use it every day.
Me too.
No less. If I have, all I need on it is 3 to 5 minutes a day, and if I can get that, at least I do it every day. That's the minimum.
Yeah, it's very doable, and I think and that's what makes it so accessible for everyone. And in those time frames, you'll start to see a difference. And then before you know it, you realize, wait, my lower back's not hurting as much. Wait, I'm starting to get some glutes again. What's going on here? Because again, everything is engaged.
and it's so cool because you can also go to the website gopureplank.com and the product Pure Plank. I mean, that was easy, guys. So Adam, was it just easy to come up with that name? Were you surprised nobody trademarked, copyrighted that name?
More than anything, we were fumbling in the dark because we didn't know. So we just started tossing around ideas. Like I literally had the piece of paper with the Sharpie drawing of this thing and how it all started to where it is now. And I know it's going to sound silly, but as a guy with 2 fusions in my neck, the placement of the clock for me is great because a lot of times if you're doing planks to time, you got to look up when you're in that position. Well, for me, my neck doesn't like that. And I know there's a lot of people whose necks don't like to look up like that. So for me, I can look straight down, see my time. I don't have to wiggle my neck anywhere. So it's really just, it's built for everyone, but also people who maybe are a little beat up from what they've done athletically or working out to their joints over the years.
Jay, was it easier coming up with the name for Pure Plank or a wrestling name?
I don't know. We're pretty creative. I believe, and I'm gonna pat myself on the back here, but I believe that I was the one that finally coined Pure Plank. So, I'm gonna take the W on that one. But yeah, we it was a brainstorming call, and everybody was throwing names around, and I don't know, that just hit me like a ton of bricks in that moment, and threw it out there, and everyone's like, "What? That works. That works." So then we went through the process and found that it was available. So that's our name.
And Adam, even you mentioned the design and writing this down, but how long does it take to come up with this and try it out? And were there a few different types of products in going through that process?
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. With the padding and the surface area, we really wanted to make sure we got that right. And like you said, something that's also easy to clean, because you get some implements or some tools and they can get pretty gnarly because you're sweating on them a lot, right? Well, you're going to sweat on this a lot, but just take a wipe, you're done. And the ease is what we wanted, so that everyone, again, so you don't get intimidated. It's like, okay, right, I can do that.
Yeah, we also wanted to use quality materials. It's all top end, high end materials. We didn't want something where the padding is going to peel off in a month after sweating on it. We probably had 4, 5, 6 prototypes before this one, and we had a lot of hiccups just getting it getting it exactly the way we wanted to. And probably, during the pandemic too, with factories and outlets closing down, making it really challenging to get things done in a timely manner. But somehow we managed, with all those prototypes, to finally nail it and get the one. And kudos to all of our team involved for not settling and just rushing it out. We wanted to do this and wanted to do it the right way and give the consumer a great product that does what it says it's going to do.
Now, you guys mentioned the handles. I have the handles here. And it's very simple. The box comes, you've got your pure plank, you've got your board, which is really cool, easy. And then you've got your handles, which, by the way, I want to show here. The handles fit here to store, like when you're storing and holding it. So it's great. You can put both in. And then just press the button and you can pop it right in. Make sure it snaps. Guys, I read about what I could. I'm not an expert on these things, so forgive me for that. But tell me about, look, the different areas for these handles. Like last night I was doing it here. I was putting it here, but it spreads out. It just gives you a different type of workout.
Yeah, it's fits at different angles, because there's your obliques, your intercostals, your pecs, your shoulders. Like I said, everything's engaged, and the wider you go, more difficult it's going to get. But you can also do side planks that way. You can do star planks. You can do mountain climbers. There's a variation of things. My wife ends up doing yoga on it and hitting crow poses. So there's a lot of different ways that you can skin this cat. And
so it's comfort, whatever comfort you have in whatever configure, whichever way you want to configure the handles. Everybody's different, different too, like builds, different sizes, heights, weights. So we wanted to have people an option to put it where they're comfortable.
And also, in terms of storage, we wanted something that was pretty sleek and pretty manageable. Like you can slide that under the couch, you can slide it under your bed and just pull it out, hit some first thing in the morning if you want, or as you're watching TV, why not? If you can get some exercise in while you're watching TV, I mean, it's, I guess, essentially like doing cardio, but you're going to get more abs.
See, now when I watch AEW, I have something else to do while I'm watching AEW on Wednesday nights, Dynamite or Collision or anything.
Yeah, we're going to have to implement it into a street fight eventually and just whack somebody with
it. Some gauntlet or different type of match. Remember when they did the football field match many years ago? Maybe you can bring a plank out and hit somebody over the back or something with it. But look how sleek it is. It is very sleek. It's really cool. Now, I know Jay takes credit for Pure Plank. How about the logo? Is there any significance with the logo for this?
Again, it was one of those things that we had a lot of talks about it. We wanted something simple, but also something that kind of gets the point across. But even in the colors we picked, we went through it all and wanted to come up with things that we felt comfortable with, because at the end of the day, our names are on this thing, right? So we want to make sure that whatever we put out, we can feel proud of. And, and I can speak for Jan that we both do.
Both of you guys, it's just so cool to be able to talk to you. I mean, your wrestling careers are historic. I don't have to mention so much about that, but you guys have just done so much. It's so cool to see you guys as entrepreneurs now. And when did that ever, because look, back in the day, reading about you all, watching you guys, pro wrestling was your passion, your glory. But did you ever think, like someday, even back then, hey, maybe we could be entrepreneurs, maybe we could come up with something? Or is that later on in life?
Well, for me, it was, like I said, during the pandemic, and everything that I had been working on. I was doing things outside of the wrestling walls and still some things within, but obviously not in the ring. And I just. It all went away when the pandemic happened, and I'm the type of person that needs a goal. I need something to work towards, or else I'm going to sit on the couch and eat Cheez-Its all night. So I decided, I just kind of kept it to myself, and I built a tiny gym in my garage and just started putting the work in. And I didn't know if it was possible, but I started saying, well, what if I try to come back and finish my career on my own terms the right way? And I just went out there grinding every day with minimal equipment and not being able to find much of anything, just piecemealing a very tiny gym in my garage. I just, out of necessity, started planking just because I had very minimal equipment. And when I was in there by myself, I couldn't hold a plank for even 30 seconds. And I was completely embarrassed that I'm supposed to be an athlete and I couldn't hold a plank for 30 seconds. So I became obsessed with it at that point. And that, along with proper nutrition, I saw my body start to change drastically. And I never had a chiseled six pack like I had at the time, 47 years old, you know? And so just to me, and I got my career back because of it. And a lot of it, I think, has to do with planking. In my opinion, it's the best overall exercise. That's my opinion. And I will do it every day for the rest of my life. And I feel like it's made me, and you know, a better version of myself in a sense. And just wanted to, you know, like I said, what kind of became, you know, and then Adam mentioned planking to me, and that's how I started planking. And then when, you know, in Florida, you know about Florida, in the hot, and you know, my garage in the hot summers, you know, I'd be on a mat and my elbows would start sliding out. And then I'd have to reset and readjust and start the position over again. I felt like I lost something in the movement because I was having to stop and readjust. And I was, man, if there's something to just hold you in place all the time, whether you're sweaty or whether you're not, and also something that will put you in the right position so that it takes the guessing out. And that's when the idea for the handles came in.
You know, and between the two of us, we were retired for 16 years. We were both told we could never do this again. And I truly credit planking to starting the path for us, you know, to kind of starting to you know, knock down the path to get us back. And here we are. You know, I've been back for 6 years. I think Jay's been back for, you know, like 5,
Yeah.
like that, you know, and still doing it at a level that we feel, you know, good with. So I credit a lot of it to planking, which is, like I said, it was the gateway. It kind of opened up the door to then have the diet follow, because as you start to feel better, as you start to look better, well, suddenly you want to eat better and you want to drink more water and you want to do these things that are better for your health.
GoPurePlank.com. I wanted to show the back too. If we can see it, hopefully we can, because it's very
that
cool.
sucker ain't gonna slide on you.
Yeah, so it's stabilized. So you stabilize it on a floor. You could use it on a carpet, or you could use it on a solid floor too, which is also cool as well. I'm just wondering though, Adam, is Pure Plank? Now, see, I got to ask the tough question. Sorry, guys, I got to do it. Adam, is Pure Plank Beth Phoenix approved?
Well, yeah, like I said, she's doing yoga poses on it now. You know, I went in at, I think it's the crow's pose, and she was up in that, and I was like, whoa, okay, well, that's something Jay and I haven't tried, because we can't, but we could possibly work to it.
And Jay, for you, I mean, it's so cool. You guys not only worked as a tag team together, but recently in AEW, you guys were against each other and then reunited per se. I'm curious from a pro wrestling standpoint. I know it's getting away from Pure Plank a little bit, but I was just curious. What is it like? And then, Adam, you could also add that too. What is it like working against each other, I guess, compared to working with each other? In a sense, tag team. I know, you know, we don't have to pull the curtain back so much, but it's just in the sense of going at it as a tag team compared to being opponents against each other.
I think also, like, to put it in perspective, you know, to be having meaningful matches, whether they're against each other or as a team, when neither one of us thought we would have our career back at any given time. You know, you don't take any of it for granted. Every time you walk out there, you treat it like it could be the last time, because it could. And you know what it's like to not to have it taken away and not have it. So you have to appreciate every moment that you're out there. And like I said, the fact that whether we were against each other or as a team, the fact that we were doing it at a high level was the most important.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we both thought this was done. So anything we do at this point is bonus, because it wasn't supposed to be the case, but yet here we are. So whether it's you know, an I Quit match in Toronto, or whether it's, you know, wrestling FTR in Toronto, or you know, wrestling in the O2 Arena against Kip Sabian and Luchasaurus, you know, we both feel like the chemistry is just there. It always has been. You know, we've known each other since the 6th grade. And
Just want to put something on the record. I said I don't quit. The referee misheard me. Just don't want to put that on the record.
So when he lost the I Quit,
We've got it on the record. We've got it on the record right now. That's right. We got it on the record.
He actually tried to get the show off the air that night. If you remember correctly, it floated over into Collision. It's because Jay was pulling some strings to try and not have the finish on air.
I'm not going to mess or cross Jay. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is one of the smartest guys inside the ring and outside of the ring in the business. No way would I do that. Adam, oh, well, but all right. Anyway. Oh, gosh. You guys, it's so great to take some time and take a few more questions, and I'll let you go. I appreciate you both doing this. This has just been awesome for me. But, hey, guys, we're talking pure plank. We're talking other things, talking a little pro wrestling. I'm curious, too. Have you let other wrestlers try it? Have other people in athletics?
Yeah, actually,
you know how much, Jay, you know how much social media and word of mouth, and if you can get people to try it, what's that been like? Can you throw some names at us?
Well, we've had lots of people come up and not even ask for a free one, and wrestlers love free things, and they weren't even asking for a free, so they must think it's worthwhile to put their own money down. And yeah, there's been quite a few that have been using it, and Dustin Rhodes, he was one that got it pretty much off the hop right away. There's been been some others as well. I think Chris Jericho bought one, I believe.
Claudio Castagnoli, easy for me to say, but he got one, and that's a guy who knows his fitness, so when we got him on board, I was happy about that. Derek Jeter has got one, Dominique Wilkins has one, I'm getting Jason Statham one, so little by little the word's starting to get out.
That is so cool, and I'm curious because now I bring up DDP, but we know he's helped so many people with DDP yoga. It's just incredible. That is incredible in itself. Do you talk to DDP about it at all? I know it's a different compared to the yoga. It's different, but how does that go? And I'll follow up with that, but go ahead, guys.
I haven't talked to Paige about it.
No, I haven't either. I actually haven't seen or spoken to Paige in quite some time, but I'm sure if and when we do run into each other, we will probably have some sort of conversation about it. Yeah.
Because he was also, guys, he was on Shark Tank, and that's such a big thing nowadays. And I'm curious, is that something that you, in the back of your mind, or even thought about at all? Like, hey, maybe at some point we can bring this on Shark Tank, or even if you want to do that or not. I don't know.
It's not something that's on my list necessarily. Really, we just wanted to get this out, and in turn, if it could help some people along the way, that's really the main goal.
We wanted to make it clear too from the start that it wasn't a cash grab for us. If our names were going to be on it, then it had to be something that worked. It had to be something that was beneficial and that people were putting. And it's much like how we approach our wrestling matches and our wrestling careers. If people are paying money for your product or coming to watch you perform, you give them everything you have. And that's whether that's on in the form of a pure plank board or going out there and having the best match or segment possible on a wrestling show. That's our mindsets going into these things.
Wrestling question, hockey question. I'll get you both out of here. The wrestling question is: we all incredible tables, ladders, and chairs. You guys, Dudleys, Hardys. I'm curious though: is there another match, whether it be singles or tag team? And I know you guys have had so many. But one that just pops into your mind for each one of you that really stands out. And it may not be a match. It might have even been a house show. Who knows? But something that stands out. You could say, you know what? I've had a ton of great matches, but this one is another one that really stands out for me. I've always wanted to ask you guys that. Jay first and then Adam.
I think in recent memory, I think solidifying myself as the greatest TNT champion of all time, a run that will never be matched. I think that for me in recent memory, since coming back, that's been the highlight, and also teaming with Adam in Toronto in our hometown against FTR and winning, and so because we don't know how many more of those we're gonna get, so that was a pretty big one of recent memory.
Yeah, and since I've been with AEW, I've been able to get in with so many people that I've never worked with, and there was 1 week there where I wrestled Brody King in an ODQ match, and then wrestled Kyle O'Reilly 2 nights later in a completely technical wrestling match, and that for me was that was why I went to AEW. Now getting to team with Jay, and then also getting to face each other properly. With the experience that we have under our belts now, with a company who treats us as equals, I think that was important, and we both wanted that, and I feel like we finally got it. So all of that has been super special. And again, neither one of us were told we'd ever be able to do this again. So the fact that we're even doing it, period, but then to wrestle a team like FTR in our hometown, because that's a match that as a wrestling fan, and even for the four of us, if we could ever do that, man, that would be pretty amazing. And then we got to do it. Again, everything is pretty darn special. In terms of WWE, it's tough to narrow down, but I think main eventing WrestleMania against The Undertaker is one that definitely is up there, just because that's what you work for.
That is just so awesome. And I believe that was in Orlando, Adam.
Yes, I believe it was.
It was right there in Florida. I know it's hard to see. I got the DVD up just for that one. I got two Christians up. Sorry, Adam, because I didn't want to get him mad at me. Adam, I don't want to get Jay mad at me. So I got 2 in 1. But anyway, all right. Happy holidays, guys. We'll get the hockey question out of the way. By the way, great Santa look for everybody. Thank you for the Santa beards. I appreciate that. But hockey, tell us. You guys are big Toronto Maple Leafs, but I know Adam. I mean, Jay, maybe Tampa Lightning too, because of the area. What are your thoughts? Look at the Florida Panthers. It's crazy what's going on down here in Tampa too.
Well, I mean,
Jay.
I think the Panthers are feeling the effects of those 3 deep runs, much like Tampa did a few years ago when they went to the final many years in a row. Listen, like the Panthers have done something that is unheard of this day and age. They've managed to stay intact, the core, the nucleus of the team, and win back-to-back championships. I mean, it's unbelievable, and it's good for the state of Florida, and it's good for hockey in this state. And of course, I'll always be a diehard Maple Leaf fan. And when Adam put that Bruins jersey on me and almost burned my skin, it was like acid getting thrown on me. I hate Boston. I hate everything about Boston, and I hate the Bruins. So, but anyways, that's a story for another day. That's the actual one coming in. Sorry. What's that? I think the Leafs they're having some goaltending issues right now with injuries. Obviously, Stolarz is out. Wool just got hurt again. Hildeby's been playing pretty well in the absence. They're starting to pick it up here. I think they've won a few in a row. They're starting to gel a little bit. They had a lot of new players, so sometimes it takes a while for players, I guess, to learn new systems and to gel with each other. But you got to be honest here. They're obviously missing the playmaking ability of Mitch Marner at this point too, setting up Matthews, and I think they need to look for somebody that can set him up kind of in the same way.
See, I think JJ's great at this. I think that he could go on Eric Young's hockey show. And, Eric Young does a hockey show, EY. Yes, we could have Jay should go on that, first of all. Number 2, as we wrap this up, hey, we got Kachuk and Barkov. Our 2 top guys are out. So we're pushing. We're still one less too. But come on. But Adam,
is that why you can't
Adam?
tell
Wait a minute, Adam. Wait a minute. Jay, did you know?
No, you wait a minute. I'm the guest.
Well, no, I know you're going to do it. I know that. I don't want to disrespect you, but wait, Jay, did you go to Game 7, Toronto and the Panthers last year, Jay?
I did not.
Okay,
I wanted to,
Adam,
but I didn't make it
go
down.
Ahead. Go ahead, Adam.
So is that why you can't sell out your arena, even though you have 2-time defending Stanley Cup champions? Yeah.
Hey, we've been selling it out.
No, Adam,
no. That's the old days. Don't come with that anymore. How many people were leaving? How many people were leaving the arena
the other night, and it was half full.
We stay at the arenas. I don't want to get in an argument with this. Why am I getting an argument with Adam?
Because you're the interviewer, but you're talking more than us. It's not how interviews work, man.
That's true. That's a good point by Adam. He got me on that one. He did. All right, guys. Hey, listen, appreciate the time as always. And hey, Pure Plank, amazing. By the way, the timer is with it as well. Wanted to make sure we get that in there too. So it comes with the timer. Just great. Thank you both. Keep up with doing what you're doing.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Go Leafs.